Hey Blaze, how's it going?
It's going good. How you doing?
Good. So for everyone here, this is Blaze Foster. He is a Kakana instructor and U.S. Parapowerlifter. Uh, let's get it started. Blaze, how'd you get into parapowerlifting?
That's a great question. It all started back in 2017, where I competed in World Dork Games in Guelph, Ontario, um, in Canada. And the head judge of the bench press at that competition, his name's Chris Costas. He pulled me aside after because I got second. I lost to a guy from India. He pulled me aside and he said, I should I should give parapowerlifting a shot. He thought I was pretty talented, so I sent a few emails out, made a few phone calls, and next thing I know, I'm at a camp in Ashland, Virginia, in November of 2017, and from there, it's just been quite a fun experience from there.
Yeah, that's it's sometimes it's circumstance, luck, identification. Crazy how it works out. Were you always into sports?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my older brother, which he's 7 years older than me, he was a really competitive swimmer growing up. So he's always like kept in good shape, and that kind of drove me to want to be active and be involved in some type of sport. So like growing up, I wrestled and I played like basketball and football with my peers growing up. And honestly, until like seventh grade, I was like one of the best ones out of our group. So yeah, I mean, I always loved sports. To answer your question, yeah.
What does your week look like when you're in prime training regiment and you're kind of going through the week that maybe not the week before because you're probably tailoring it down, but maybe a month before an event?
Well, a month before, I mean, I kind of try to taper off like a month before the event. Like I try
Let's
to.
go 4 months.
Okay. All right. Well, my usual is like Monday I lift. Tuesday I may do something at home or cardio. Wednesday I take off. Thursday I'll do like some cardio, do something at home. But Friday heavy lift day, and Saturday a workout also. So mostly Wednesdays and Sundays I take off.
With Paralympics coming up next year, what changes? Does anything change? What's the schedule look like for you? What's the plan of action over the next several months that gets you prepared?
Really paying attention to my max rep, trying to increase each month on my max, really emphasizing on getting stronger. That's honestly for the most part. I really like detailing of what my numbers are going to be compared to what I'm up against. Because now it's getting close. Yeah. So really paying attention to the numbers now. To what I'm going to be able to lift. What's going to be my start weight and things like that. So really paying more attention to the numbers.
Yeah, speaking of the numbers, I mean, when you're in a competition, right? And I mean, it's a numbers sport, right? It's you know where you are, you know where others have been. Do you fear anything, or what is your mindset going into these events with numbers already out there that everyone's been doing? So how does that affect how you approach a competition?
It doesn't have much effect because I respect the process. And I feel once you respect the process, the results will take care of itself. And I mean, if someone's benching 50 more pounds than me, there's nothing I can really do about that. I mean, that's out of my control. I can only control what I can do, what I can control. So I really don't have, I really don't fear anything, and it's all in fun. You know, I'm representing the United States, you know, my home, the country I love, and it's just, I don't fear competition because I think it's a privilege of being on this level and at this level and being able to compete against the best in the world. It's an absolute honor and privilege, and I fear, you know, fear. I respect the process too much to fear.
Yeah, I think usually that's the mark of a successful athlete is when they go through the process and they understand that process leads to usually really positive results. You know, because a lot of people don't see what happens day to day, right? They just see, okay, you end up here. Oh, that person came out of nowhere. Well, you forget about that 10 years before that process, right? So um, with that process, I often see you on social media with your daily walks, right? Is that part of your process? Is, you know, what do those mean to you? Why do you take them? You know, does it get is it linked with your athletic career, or is it just something that allows you to step away?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, it just allows me to step away. It's just I like to call it, it's my cup of tea. You know, it's just like my morning motivation, you know, my morning meditation. I like to wake up doing something I want to do and going to bed doing before going to bed doing something I want to do. I try to start the day with something I want to do and end the day something I want to do. And my morning walks is something I love to do. It's something I've recently started over the past year. I haven't always done it, but it's just like me, my headphones, nature, and it's just like, you know, it's just my me time. It's my small time to be selfish and just think and reflect and, you know, just, you know, that's one thing about you know, the meditation with Nicole with one with Kakana, that, you know, it's really those types of meditation. I really didn't think it was meditation until she kind of like educated me on it. Like your walks are kind of like a meditation, what you're doing. And I was like, you know what? I didn't even think of it like that, but yeah, like, you know, it's like, so I don't run. I don't, you know, I just walk and I just hear the birds chirping, the sun's out, and some people will be walking their dogs or just walking themselves and we, you know, smile, and it's just nice. It's just, it fuels me, you know, and it gives me momentum throughout the rest of the day, and it makes me sleep better at night when I go on my morning walks. So I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it's everyone's got a different form of, you know, centering themselves, right? And it could be a jog, it could be a walk, it could be an exercise program. I mean, it could be reading a book. I mean, it is some sort of meditation in terms of, you know, you're breathing, you're thinking, you're resting the mind a little bit, you know, and reflection. So it's pretty. I always found it interesting, and just everyone's got something different that helps them navigate whatever they're doing, right? Kind of with that, I mean, that you know, you've been with us since the beginning, right? Since you've been with Kakana since the outset, and I kind of wanted to poke at, see, you know, what drew you to jumping on to this train. You know, we were tiny, we're moving to become bigger. But I mean, it was, you know, a tiny ship in the middle of the sea when you jumped on. What drew you to it, and then what do you want? What do you hope we can achieve down the line?
Well, I love helping other people in general. I mean, that's one thing that drew me to this, and then, you know, to add like helping people get healthy. My saying, health is wealth, and, you know, with adaptive fitness, I mean, a lot of people don't realize what, you know, they know what they can't do, but they don't realize what they can do, and it's nice to help remind them and help people realize what they can do as far as what's fitness. And once I heard about One Kakana, I wanted to be on board, because at the end of the day, we're helping others become more healthy. I mean, that's live a healthier lifestyle. So I mean, it was a win-win situation. I mean, that's something I would have loved growing up as a kid. Definitely realizing being a part of a community that reminds me that I'm not alone. So it was a very easy ship to get on board with, because it was it's something I completely agree with, but of helping others live a healthier lifestyle.
And where do you think, where would you like to see us grow, expand, dip into, or, accomplish in the future?
Well, I hope it grows so we have 50 to 100 people per class. The more the better. Get more people involved with the program. Just love to see it keep growing. Just growing and people becoming more aware of it, and hopefully people realize that it's really beneficial. I mean, we offer so many different types of programs. If you don't like strength training, you can do the cardio, you can do the boxing, you can do the yoga, you can do the meditation. So there's so many different avenues you could take with One Kakana, that it could help you mentally, physically, so spiritually. So I mean, I think I would just love to see it keep growing. Grow at, so it's like a max capacity.
Yeah, you and me both. Cool. That was amazing. For anyone who is interested, Blaze runs his cross cycle classes on Tuesdays and Wednesday afternoon and evenings. What's your schedule? What's the next competition that people can tune in and keep track of with your parapowerlifting?
The next competition will be in April in Kansas City, Missouri. It's going to be at the end of April. I don't have the exact date; it's to be determined because of the COVID and all that stuff. But it'll be the end of April in Kansas City.
Awesome. Well, it'll be we'll be pushing people to stay tuned on social media. Blaze, thank you, and we will see you in class.